guys, this is Rachel Kirkland here, the Modern Shaman, and thanks for joining me. So if you are new here, I will say feel free to go on my website and find out what I'm about. There's a lot of links and just helpful connections on my website, which is just themodernshaman.net. So if this is you and this is your vibe, just connect with us and feel free to like and subscribe and comment and share and just get involved. Okay, so the question says, Rachel, what is your relationship with alcohol and smoking? And how does that influence vibrations and people's relationship to their higher self? Okay, well, even before I answer the question, I will say, the second I get quiet and get connected to my sense of higher self, the first thing that I feel like Spirit is like, boom, puts it on my heart, is a sense of shame and guilt that may be associated with these topics of alcohol or drug abuse in connection to the non-physical world or in connection to Spirit. So first, Spirit just wants me to give a sense of non-judgment to anyone that may be watching this video that has a sense of shame or guilt associated with these topics. So if this is you and whatever you're doing, if this is real for you, you're sitting there watching this video and you have a sense of energy that feels heavy on your heart in terms of shame or guilt associated with alcohol or drugs, I just want to release that for you now. And just let's get real. Let's just be as real as you possibly can in this moment and give that to yourself. Give yourself a sense. If this is you, just make it real for you, okay? Let's just do it. We're here. You're hearing this, and you're feeling those feelings. If this is you and you're feeling those feelings of shame and guilt associated with the topics of alcohol or drugs, Spirit wants me to address that first and foremost and just give you a sense of non-judgment, a sense of love. I keep hearing this phrase of that you're playing, that Spirit feels like there is no shame, there is no judgment in your exploration throughout life. They feel like it's more like an explorer. The energy that they're showing it to me is that they want you to feel like on the other side you are not judged. Instead, you are viewed as an explorer of this space of humanity. Just know that you're loved and that all perspectives are seen from the other side and understood. And give yourself a sense of relief that's offered in that. Just let yourself have it because it's being offered. Okay, so that's first and foremost, and Spirit wanted me to hit that first, all right? Yeah, settle into that. So the second part, I will just answer from my personal, since you asked the question personally. So personally, my relationships with smoking or alcohol is pretty non-existent. I don't drink, I don't smoke. I have been a vegetarian since I was a teenager. There are certain things that vibrationally I started to level out of, if that makes sense, that may have been relevant and helpful for my spiritual growth at certain times where they felt like they were a vibrational uplift. And I think this is how a lot of people interact with other energies that are external to themselves, external energies that change our chemical makeup, that change our brain interaction, that turn off certain neurotransmitters and or neuroinhibitors or whatever you want to call it. They have certain interactions within the mental mind, the cognitive process, that either initiate certain experiences in the non-physical, like psychotropic drugs and things like this, or help numb them out in terms of slowing the cognitive or the mental mind down so that you can focus on the spiritual aspects of life, whether that be via alcohol. There's a lot of things that do that, and they interact with different people's energies in different ways. So I will say in my personal experience, and this is just, you asked the personal part first, it's just my personal experience. I came to a point to where I found that those things vibrationally felt lower than my native core vibration. So I was vibrating at such a space internally that felt like I was higher and I was more aligned in my sense of joy and my sense of self and my sense of sovereignty and power and authority and beauty, and all of these things that I wanted to experience when I was pure of other vibrations. When I started interacting vibrationally with any sort of externals that I would intake or put through my physical system, it started to feel like it would drain my vibration in a very physical way. And this includes food and stuff. These are chemical reactors too. These are transmuters of energy too. There's a chemical reaction going on within the body when we process food, when we breathe, when all of it. When we're breathing in smog versus breathing in clear energy when we're, camping or from the trees. There is a lot of things, and I mean, you can break it down in a lot of different ways, but it's all a sense of interaction within the energies of your body. So is it vibrational? Heck yeah, everything is, right? And the more you are paying attention to your vibrational interaction with the world around you, with the world within you, the more you will feel the subtle guidance or the sudden, not sudden. I guess it can come sudden too. But the subtle energetic frictions versus energetic alignments within you. So I just started feeling like alcohol wasn't positive. It would give me physicals. I would get headaches. It just never felt positive. It always felt like it drained my energy. And, same with even pharmaceuticals and chemical things. And I just pay attention to the way that my body reacts. Now, that can vary because you can be at different vibrational frequencies, just like we know. Like sometimes we're in a great vibe and feeling wonderfully aligned, and those things can feel like they take us down because we're already at such a high space. There are other times when we are at such a low space that the vibrations within certain externals, be it plant medicine or whatever, actually feel like they make us vibrate higher than our base frequency. So it's all dependent on where you are vibrationally, what that interaction is energetically. That's just my personal experience with it. I will say, in terms of vibration and relationship to your higher self, when it really all things, but especially things, topics or matters of concern that feel like they involve and interact with belief systems, religious systems, family dynamics, like alcohol and drugs and these types of things, a lot of times they're viewed in different systems in different ways. Different belief systems feel like they're great or they're horrible. There's a sense of good and bad, right and wrong that have been created around these issues. So anytime that you are energetically interacting with something that already has an energetic structure around it or belief system around it, it's so important for you to pay attention to your inner wisdom, which is your higher self. Right? Your sense of alignment with your own inner knowledge, inner wisdom, and letting that be the most strong, guiding, directional force above any and everything else. Okay? Meaning your sense of clear honesty and transparency with yourself of what is good and bad for you, what is right and wrong for you, what is truth for you and your body, your experience, your vibrational state. Letting that stay first and foremost above what any and everyone else says is paramount. Okay? And learning what that feels like to you and validating that I feel like this is part of the process of knowing and staying in alignment with your highest vibrational self. And that will continue to grow because we are ever expanding, ever evolving. So it's not like you'll link up and get alignment with your higher self and it will always be saying the exact same thing. There's a sense of growth and process that happens there too. So things that were relevant and true for you as a youth may not be relevant and true for you as an adult. And as a sage or as someone that's ever evolving in terms of enlightenment and growth in your spiritual process as a soul. And that's okay. That's relevant. That is good and ever expansive. So, but knowing that sense of that no matter what is true for someone else, knowing your sense of alignment and letting that higher vibrational energy win out, meaning if you feel like there's a system that says this is wrong, this is not good, but it feels like completely true for you, completely relevant for you, completely important for your healing, that you validate that in that moment and listen and honor that. But also, if there's a part of you that feels out of sync, that feels discordant, like there's interference with the frequencies of, say, alcohol in your body when everybody else is partying and seeming to have a great time. Maybe it's a synthetic happiness. Maybe it's not true to the soul happiness, but they seem like they're in a happy space. And then you're in that space and you're not quite feeling vibrationally equivalent. There's some friction in you. There's some friction in the soul, in the body. It may be physical, like you may be throwing up, or your body, like I said, my body would give me headaches. It just didn't align. It didn't feel good. There wasn't a positive interaction at all, vibrationally. Or you just feel a sense of disalignment. It doesn't feel in alignment with what you know to be good, true, pure, right for you. Beyond right and wrong and what people tell you. It's not that. It's not about that. It's not about the rules or the regulations of man that they've created or some structure. It's about you listening to you. Even if it says, okay, you shouldn't be drinking, even though they're all drinking, it's not right for you. For some reason, it's not in alignment with you. Listening to that over anything else. Not because it's generally bad or generally good. Nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with rules or regulations. Listening to your sense of self. And again, this goes into any and everything. This could be just eating a bag of Doritos or not. Sometimes it brings you into a space where you feel totally chill and relaxed and a lot of relief. I'm going to just have this huge bag of Doritos. And then other times it feels really crappy and your body is like, oh man, I shouldn't have done that. I feel like my body is all out of balance with it now. Listening to your inner sense of self about decisions that you're making for you, okay? And this includes all vibrational interactions. And I know, it includes all vibrational interactions. So that's everything. Everything has an interaction. Where I put this pillow has a vibrational interaction with me, how I feel about it. Now you can get into every single detail and drive yourself crazy, and don't, you know what I mean? You don't need to go to that direction. Just learning how to validate when there's an important decision to be made or a decision where your sense of self is really speaking up, listening to that and holding that as true for you, as good for you. Just that practice in general is so important in terms of the development of the soul. Because it goes into everything. It goes into your interactions with your boss, with your loved ones, with your family. Should I say this? Should I say that? Should I wear this? Should I feel this? Should I eat this? Should I, a sense of true alignment with yourself, knowing what is good for you and what is not, and validating that over any and all other guidelines, over any and all other structures, morals, belief systems. Truly feeling, and you have to notice it. It's subtle sometimes, especially if you've been in an environment that's been listening to others over your sense of self, that's been validating everything everyone else tells you beyond what you know to be true for you. You're going to have to practice it. You're going to have to practice following through with doing what you feel like your own internal guidance is telling you to do. And there's a sense of strength and authority and personal sovereignty in that you can't get any other way. It's a beautiful sense of alignment. So Anyways, that's my advice to you. Mwah. Love you. Sending you love.